All right, everybody. Can you all hear me? Hopefully. Awesome. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Man, like usually I just go on to YouTube Studio and I link the key and the stream URL and so forth, but for some reason it was just kept giving me this issue that the URL that I entered was invalid. So anyways, sorry guys. No, just stressed because like I was trying to get this all uh, put together and put out. And then right last second, like I just went and dropped my girlfriend off at work. And then I come running home to get this up and going. And the next thing I know, it's like, oh, invalid URL. And I'm like, oh, no. So, anyways, no, we're good. We're good. So, alrighty. There we go. Okay. So, what is up? So, yeah, we got crypto or critical complex in stream, Richard, Everett, Bosbay, XRP Marshall. Like I see a few others there via the back end. So Christopher, Crypto Beast, shout out to everyone. Vinay, Messi, everybody, welcome to the stream. So yeah, we can wait for a couple more people to slowly roll in here. Okay, I'm just gonna put out a quick update here. Right, so we'll go like this, copy that, and paste that, and send that out. Alrighty. So yeah, I just put out a quick update there on Twitter. Alrighty. There we go. All right. So yeah, but I understand. Yeah, CSC is a little slow moving right now. We're trying to, or everybody's looking forward to see the price increase, but there's been a couple delays that kind of set things back. So Daniel's addressed that in Discord and bringing that up to everybody. So hopefully though, like we end up seeing some news end up coming down the pipeline, see what kind of gets sorted there. So yeah, well, that's exactly it. And it is a chance to double up. Deftone, welcome to the stream, sir. And yeah, so it is a chance to double up or dollar cost average. Like if the price is below your average buy-in price, this is an awesome time to lower your average buy-in, which means that you actually reach profit sooner. Obviously, not financial advice. My streams and so forth are strictly for educational purposes. Like, I'm not here to tell you to buy CSC. I'm not here to tell you no. This is strictly an educational channel for people to have a means to basically have a source of information that's at least reliable to a degree. So, oh wow, SEC's going after Uniswap now. That's not a surprise. They'll probably try to get their hands in everything that they can. So, yeah, that's no surprise at all. So, anyways, so yeah, that's what it was having a problem with there, Matt, is like I don't know, like I use the same URL that's always come up. It's always been a RTMP URL. So for some reason it was just coming up in my Zoom setting saying like, yeah, invalid URL. And I'm like, no, this is the same URL I've always used, but who knows? I don't know. I'll try to get it figured out another time. Right now, I'm just glad we're able to get up and going here. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So I'm not sure how many people in the stream here were aware of what happened yesterday via the the Discord stuff, or sorry, via Reddit. So somebody posted up in Reddit here. I'm actually going to go ahead and share my screen. And we're going to go through and discuss this because there's a little bit of misinformation, which is due to, in my opinion, just not understanding the underlying technology. So I've also got a new little whiteboard here. Cool little thingy. Anyways, we'll go through and kind of break it down on the whiteboard there too. Kind of clear things up and, you know, make it clear for everybody. So we had somebody here on Reddit, Micah002, and basically he was going through, or they were going through and explaining that they've been trading CSC on the XRPL for a few days and that there was a usual trading pattern that they noticed. So one thing to note here, first and foremost, is that CSC and XRP are uncorrelated. So they don't move in tandem with each other. XRP moves, we've seen it. XRP moves, CSC sits where it is. It moves, it'll go down against XRP or up against CSC or XRP, but the USD price usually like it sits in its own trading channel there. And we can see that here if we go and pop over to, there we go. So pardon my laser light show here, but yeah, so this is just kind of what I've been doing for fun there. But for the most part, it has its own means of trading. Okay. And then if we look at it against XRP here, again, my laser light show, just ignore it. I should have cleared that up. But anyways, so they are uncorrelated. You know, XRP moves, CSC does not move in tandem with it. They each have their own fundamentals. They have their own, basically, the way that they move. Like even when Bitcoin ended up having its little day on the market there and caused everything to dip, the price of CSC stayed stable. Ended up going up or down there a little bit after or down, but you know, that was due to market participants, not due to correlation of the asset to another asset. So okay, so it looks like CryptoBeast was having issues with videos as well. Oh, fun times. Oh, anyways, so yeah, so basically what it came to is that the individual here was looking at the trading patterns that they've been watching. And so as they say here, just finding myself, it would generally follow the price rise and drops of XRP price, since that is what is used to buy and sell the coin. As I just mentioned, not true. As I just showed in the charts, not quite true. They're uncorrelated. They move in their own ways. Yes, sometimes when XRP moves, it does bring CSC whichever way. That doesn't mean that they are correlated assets. Now, while CSC's price will rise, it will never drop past a certain price point. That's because market makers or traders, you know, market participants like us trade the asset and we're like, yo, if it goes below this point, I'm buying it right back up. Well, now because of recent developments, news and things like that, you know, people are like, oh, okay, well, it's dipped a bit. I'm going to wait and see. Price is going to go down. That's just how it works. You know, if we don't have buyers turn around deciding that they're going to buy up that dip, it's going to dip. That's market participation. We market participators decide the price, you know, traders, you know, like I'm not a trader, I'm a hodler. So that's a little out of context, but basically market participants, traders, they're the determiners of the price, not CasinoCoin, not the team. They have no bearing. You know, they issued the asset, but it's up to us trading the asset to determine the price. So as we seen earlier, there was a comment from Jay there asking if I've seen or if CasinoCoin was undervalued. My opinion, yeah, sure. But my opinion doesn't matter. It's the market participants, the traders, whose opinion matters because they're the ones that determine the price. No, understood. I understood critical complex, but I just wanted to bring it up here because this was a major point of FUD that we seen and it blew up Discord yesterday. So I wanted to bring attention to it and highlight, because there was a lot of stuff that came through and then essentially we're looking at calling CSC a scam based off what they interpreted things as, because what it came down to is this point right here, is they were watching the transactions on the RCSC man address, the issuing account for CasinoCoin. Okay. And so the thing is, an issuer, especially the CasinoCoin issuer, we see that here, their account is blackholed. This account is permanently blackholed. It cannot sign any transactions or issue new tokens, which is what they were trying to say, is that the CasinoCoin team was using this account to make transactions and basically suppress the price. So that's basically why I wanted to address that here. So, and that's exactly it. Once the X app goes live, I'm looking forward to sipping on some hater tears. Not price predictions or anything like that, just saying that we've seen a lot of people complaining and so forth, and I can't wait to sip on some tears, man. That's all I'm going to say. So back to what I was saying, in regards to how the XRPL works, right? So you have an issuer who issues a token, whether it's CasinoCoin, STC coin, IGC, whoever, okay? If I issue a token on this XRPL, basically I act as a hub for that token. So we're going to take a step over to our magic whiteboard here. Okay. And so essentially what we end up seeing here is we have our issuer, right? Pardon, I do have really squiggly writing. Anyways, so when we turn around and have an issuer on the XRPL, the issuer then issues their asset, right? Okay, here's our asset. Now, me as a user will call myself Bob. Okay, so I add a trust line here. This is my TL, my trust line. Okay, right. So now we have another user. We'll use Matt. Yeah, this is a shout out for you, Matsko. Alrighty. So Matt here, he's actually one of our moderators in Discord there. Give him a shout out. He well deserves it. Okay. So Matt here has added his trust line for the asset as well. Now, the common misconception here is that if you're trading this asset between the users, it's a direct send to Matt, Matt sends to Bob. That's not actually how it works on the ledger itself. Okay. What ends up happening is when Bob wants to send a transaction to Matt here, right? Bob sends in Zum or however else, he signs the transaction going to Matt. But what actually ends up happening on the ledger itself is that transaction actually ripples. And if you want to look up rippling, I'll add the link in the description in a moment. It goes back to the issuer, and then the issuer forwards that token back off to Matt. Okay. So what you end up with is a little trifecta going on. Okay. So, and likewise, when Matt decides that, hey, I want to send some asset back to Bob here, he sends that asset to Bob via signing the transaction. But on the ledger itself, that transaction goes back to the issuer, and then the issuer forwards it off to Bob here. All right. So what ends up coming about from this is one thing to be mindful of when it comes to the ledger and the transactions there is that as it's rippling back through the issuer here, all right, what ends up happening is essentially the issuer acts as a man in the middle, almost like a centralized exchange. Not quite, but more or less, you know, if you trade on an exchange, I trade my XRP for your Bitcoin. Well, what's happening is my XRP goes up to the issuer's account, or sorry, that data ends up going to the centralized exchange, and in their database, they basically say, okay, this much XRP went to this user. This much Bitcoin went to that user. So it's more on the issuer or the centralized exchanges side that things change, okay? Sort of the same thing here with issuing an asset, all right? So the trust line basically says, Matt has a line of trust with the issuer. Bob has a line of trust with the issuer. As such, when a transaction is made, the issuer basically signifies that trade and moves that asset over. All right. So essentially what ends up happening is with a black hold account, all right, is an issuer has a couple stipulations when it comes to a black hold account. One, here, if they become black hold, or they set the account to black hold, they basically remove the master key. They cannot sign transactions themselves. Transactions ripple through the account, however. So first and foremost, one, they cannot sign transactions, right? So cannot sign. Oops. Two, okay. As such, they cannot mint more assets. So as soon as the account is black hold, they cannot mint any more of their assets. So in CasinoCoin's case, they cannot mint any more casino coin. So they cannot mint. Okay. Now this is another one that other people may not understand is actually a thing, is that with a non-black hold account, the issuer can actually block an address from sending and receiving the asset. So with the assets that are in, say, Gadget's list there, if you go through and you see an account that's not black hold, they actually have the ability to block transactions from your account. So if you turn around and, you know, well, we've seen this with X Gold there. There was, I think, a developer or something like that that was making trades and the team didn't agree with it. So they actually froze his address from being able to transact with X Gold. So with the black hold account here, they also can no longer freeze accounts. All right. So these are a couple things to keep in mind. Alrighty. So basically what ends up happening is, as I was saying, when it comes to a black hold account, which we see here, it is black hold. Okay. And that's one thing I noticed here via their screenshots is, notice right here, the very top where it says that it's black hold has been cut off. Not sure if that's intentional, but I wanted to highlight that. So Micah, if you're watching this, please, like, there's lots of information available. And thankfully, one of the moderators popped on here and addressed the situation and basically said, you know, CasinoCoin is legit, end of story. So arguing will basically result in a ban because they're breaking rule 3 of the chat here, which it says right here is that rule 3, no FUD, scare tactics, or marketing hype. So by basically posting this, it was a direct violation of rule 3, causing FUD. And I'm not sure if it was directly intentional or just a misunderstanding of how the XRP ledger works when it comes to issued assets. But what we will do here is, if you want to look into a bit more information on this, if you head over to xrpl.org, trust-lines-n-issuing.html, I'll pop that in here. Bam. Alrighty. So there's the link for the issuing and trust lines there. And now, if you caught the one thing I mentioned there, when I was talking on the whiteboard there was talks of rippling. Okay. So during the swap, if you were part of that, you might have been in the first group that had to go back and disable the rippling. So that basically is that right there. So two very important things if you want to read up and become a bit more informed. I gave a basic overview on kind of how it works, but that there is the technical docs. It doesn't get any more broken down than those docs there. All right. So needless to say, shout out to LJ26FT, the mod on Reddit. I appreciate you stepping in because I did try at one point here to post up a reply. All right. However, it looks to be that I was actually auto modded. As you can see, I tried to reply to quite a few of the responses and stuff, and I think I did so a little too quick, which resulted in me getting auto modded and my stuff kind of just blocked. So anyways, there's the article in discussion there. As yeah, I just wanted to bring a lot of, or not a lot, but I wanted to bring attention to it and kind of break down so that there was no more confusion. Now, one thing I wanted to show is that we can actually see this in action if you guys want. So I'll give this a quick refresh here. Now, what I'm going to do here is we had somebody in the chat here. Where did that go now? All right, so we had here at Caltrack. At Caltrack here, I got to give this guy a shout out, or gal. I apologize if I got that wrong. But what we are going to do here is go home and we're going to say shout out to here, Caltrack for being first and waiting so patiently. Plus 1,000 paste tip CSC. All right. So hopefully, buddy, you got your tip bot set up. All right. So now we're going to go through here. And we're going to check this here. And now we'll see here. There's that. Now I'm going to pop up. Not sure if you can see it. Probably not. That's okay. But what we're going to do is okay. Odd. Just seeing here. Very odd. I'm not actually getting the notification here. Perhaps it's a little delayed. Oh, there we go. All right. So Caltrack is queued for processing. Bud, set up your tip bot, please. I want to send you some CSC there. All right. So what we will do is when drywall. Daniel's been asking me that for a while there, Nathan. So yeah, Caltrack, if you go ahead and set up your tip bot there, we'll go through and get you a tip sent through. So what I'm going to actually do here is I'm going to use Discord, and I'm going to send Matt's Go because he just linked my stream in the chat there. So I'm going to go like this, and I know Matt has his tip bot set up. So I'm going to go ahead and sign the transaction here. So I'm doing this on my phone, just so you can see. And signing, look at that. Oh, no, stupid. I hate cameras. They should be able to like bypass the glare. All right, so I just signed Matsko here a tip via the Discord tip bot. That just went through. And we should be able to see that. Okay, so let's see here. Might be cached here. We'll see. Okay, interesting. Should be coming up as a payment thingy there. If that's not working, then what we'll do is actually pop over into our, just a moment here. I had my little thingy drop down from the top. It hates me. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to pop over into trade here, and we're actually going to take a look over here. Sorry, I was taking a look at FSE there. It was interesting. They're actually about 5 times XRP right now. So what I'm going to do here is actually put through an order. So we'll say 0.002381 already, and we're going to buy, say, 100 CSC. So it's not much there, but it'll basically serve our purpose for what I'm trying to do here. So I have my transaction request coming through. Alrighty. Transaction signed. And I'm essentially doing a market buy as a limit trade just so that it goes through. There we go. So we just seen that go through. All right. And if we go to our trade history, you'll see our 100 trade there. All right. So now if we pop over back to XRP scan here, alrighty, and we'll give this guy a refresh. There we go. So we see our trade will have gone through somewhere here. Ah, there it is right there. So that is not CasinoCoin. That was me. I just made that trade. So just kind of pointing proof there. Just wanted to make that kind of, public. So like, that's the thing is like any trades that are going through are people making trades, not the team. The black hold account prevents them from signing transactions. It prevents them from minting coins. It also prevents them from putting a freeze on any accounts. If the account is not black hold, that like the issuer is able to put a freeze on the account. I'm not sure how many people know that. So when it comes to, I believe this is it here. Yeah, there we go. So he's actually, or Gadget here, shout out to Gadget78 who's put this together. This is the whole trust line thing. Again, this is available. I'm going to pop this up in the chat here for you. Beauty. Don't slip on the banana. Alrighty. So there is the link for the spreadsheet here. Again, shout out to Gadget for putting all this together. Like, my hat off to him. So what I was going to say here is there is an option or a column here that mentions whether or not the account is black hold. And that's basically where you see. So the account for HADA, Narian, ELS, IGC, Equilibrium, and so forth, they're listed as no. If they are not black hold, those are some of the things that can happen. They're still able to sign transactions. They're still able to mint coins, and potentially, like if there's issues within the project or whatnot, as we've seen with Xgold, it's potential that individuals could have their accounts frozen from using that asset. So just a couple things to keep in mind there. Alrighty. So now that I've kind of broken that down, just want to jump to the comments here. Does anybody have any questions in regards to the trust lines, the issuance, anything I've broken up or broken down on the board there, how the transactions work via rippling through the issuer, anything like that? If you have any questions, drop them down in the chat. I'd love to answer them there. All right. Yeah, otherwise, that was, yeah, my whole point for this stream here was basically dispelling some of the FUD there. And again, I'm not sure if it was intentional or whether it was just a lack of understanding of how the XRP ledger works when it comes to issued trust lines and things like that, or issued assets. So yeah, if you do have any questions, feel free to ask away. All right. But yeah, otherwise, that was the primary focus of the stream here, was just dispelling the FUD. We do see other FUD on the stream or on Twitter and so forth as well when it comes to like asking why use CSC instead of any other asset and so forth. And I want to give a shout out to Stephen Chip and On the Chain. If you haven't seen it yet, about a month ago, Daniel was on the Chain with Stephen Chip there and was discussing CSC, the CSC lobby and so forth, and the benefits it brings and why it makes sense to use CSC. We also saw Clubcoin Quincy there recently gave a breakdown on CSC and the benefits it offers as well, especially when it comes down to interoperability between casinos. not just streamlining as a payment service for one casino, but being able to hop from one casino to another back and forth seamlessly and not having to wait excessive times for payments and stuff to go through. There's also other benefits in regards to like rakebacks and bonus offers and things like that that can be offered using CasinoCoin that aren't able to be offered as easily with other assets there. And I know some people are like, well, some online casinos already take Bitcoin. Yeah. But how long does it take for a Bitcoin transaction? Recently started putting a video together on how to use Bitcoin via GateHub. I will be working on finishing the edits for that, as that will apply not just to Bitcoin, but other assets as well, like Ethereum, Litecoin, or any other trust line that or issuance that GateHub offers there. So that'll be one to keep eyes for, because that's, I think, going to be extremely beneficial for some, as you could basically trade Bitcoin directly on the XRP ledger. So we can see that here if we go and trade our issuances around here. There we go. So now Bitcoin to XRP, usually want to trade XRP to Bitcoin there. So there we go. So you can see XRP in the number of Satoshis here. All right. So there's like, you can trade directly on the XRPL. Now, as I was going to mention in the video that I'm putting together, you do need an account with GateHub to send it off to a Bitcoin account. Okay. However, when it comes to trading on the XRPL, or if you want to send Bitcoin to another XRPL user, whether you're using Zum, Decent, Ledger, and they have the Bitcoin trust line, you can go ahead and just send it to their XRP address. And you can send Bitcoin just as fast as XRP using the XRPL. So because Bitcoin is touted as a store of value, you know, first, I'm still looking in to see what other benefits are offered. I'm not slamming it. I'm just saying that wrapping Bitcoin increases the speed in which you can send it. And Bitcoin was first available on, first wrapped and available on the XRP ledger, even before it was even offered on the Ethereum chain. So a little history note there. So anyways, an interesting note there nonetheless. So alrighty, so it seems here actually a Critical Complex also makes CSE content. I'll have to check out your channel there, bud. I will need to look forward, or I will definitely look into that there. Yeah, Bozbay, I actually haven't made the GateHub or trading Bitcoin on the XRPL using GateHub yet. I've recorded the content, but I need to edit it and put it together. I meant to do that yesterday, but life got in the way. So I'll be looking forward to editing it either later today or tomorrow, and hopefully getting it up for everyone to see by Monday, because I think that could provide a lot of benefit, as you can you can do that with a lot of tokens that are offered by GateHub there. So like this applies to, just pulling it up here one moment. So yeah, if you go through GateHub, like they offer both like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, Goldgram, Dash, Litecoin, and a bunch of others. So like if a issuer or a gateway like GateHub or Bitstamp are offering an asset, they're basically wrapping that up on the XRPL for you to use, which I think is quite phenomenal. All right, so actually looks here like I have a couple requests come through. So I'm just going to take a look here. All right, looks like Keltrack actually has his tip bot set up. So I'm going to go ahead and try again. mistyped. There we go. Sending, verifying, and submitted. There you go, Caltrack bud. You've got yourself 1,000 CSE. Thanks for joining the stream early, like almost 2 hours early. Shout out to you for waiting patiently. All righty. So, okay, so let's see here. So Mango Paradise, what is the difference between setting up a trust line for the US dollar on Bitstamp versus GateHub on Zum? Okay, so the difference between setting up USD between GateHub and Bitstamp, not much actually. They're both offering a USD IOU. They both honor the same USD IOU. So we'll go back to our board here a moment. Okay, so let me just clean this up here. And this is a perfect example, where we're going to get into talking about rippling. Okay, so first and foremost, we have GateHub and we have Bitstamp. Okay, now both of them have decided to issue, we'll use blue. I like blue. So we have the USD and we have the USD. Okay. So now myself, I will actually keep using this one for the moment. All right. So for today's example, you can call me Alice. All right. And then over on this side, we have Bob. Maybe I should have stuck to Bob and Matt because now people are going to be calling me Alice. Please don't. All right. So now to break it down here, Alice has USD offered by GateHub. Okay. Bob has USD offered by Bitstamp. Bob and Alice can still trade their USD back and forth, right? So Alice wants to send her, well, we need another color here. All right, so Alice wants to send her USD to Bob, okay? So they're offered through different issuers here. So what ends up happening is essentially this gets passed back to GateHub. GateHub forwards it off to Bitstamp, and Bitstamp passes it off to Bob. This is how it works in the back end. And this is where we get to play with that magic word that we've seen before called rippling. Okay. This is a perfect example of what rippling is. All right. So you have two different issuers offering the same currency. I will touch back on this because this gets into an area that opens the door for exploitation. All right. Hold on a sec here. I'm just going to pop my screen up a little bit. There. There. Perfect. All right. So as I was saying, Alice wants to send Bob USD. So she signs the transaction sending it over. Bob has the USD offered through Bitstamp. Alice has it offered through GateHub. So basically, using the rippling, Alice sends the USD over to Bob, which goes back to GateHub. GateHub forwards to Bitstamp. Bitstamp forwards to Bob. So this is what's called a rippling. All right. So now what ends up happening, and this is where I was going to touch back on, is that basically you could have or when you set up your account and you have your trust line set, you want to make sure that your flag for rippling is set to false or disabled, okay? Because what can end up happening is that basically in this sense, the rippling is handled through the issuers. The issuers have their stuff set to whether or not it should be rippled, okay? Now, what ends up happening, however, is that you could have a third party, a malicious actor. We'll say Mr. Mask Guy. I'm not sure if this is going to turn out very well. Okay, I'm not going to try to color that in. But anyways, we have bad guy here. We'll give him some fangs because we know he's bad guy. All right, so he's offering this, we'll call it USD, but we're going to put a not or a bang just to show that it's not the proper USD. All right, so now using the rippling, what can happen is we can have a malicious actor come through who basically says, hey, I'm offering USD. So now we have Charlie over here who sets this up. He doesn't know better to use Bitstamp or GateHub, so he uses Mr. Mask Guy here. All right, so Charlie decides that, you know, I'm going to set up the USD trust line. I'm going to trade my XRP for it. Well, now, XRP, whoops, can't spell. Okay, so he sends his XRP to Mr. Mask Guy for his USD, right? So GateHub and Bitstamp, they have an agreement. They understand that they're accepting USD back and forth. However, Charlie has this trust line set up through an anonymous, whether it was through Twitter or a Discord or a Telegram or whatever, but it's not a properly issued asset. It's not a true IOU offered by a gateway. GateHub and Bitstamp recognize this. So what ends up happening is Charlie says, I want to send this USD to Bob. Bob's like, okay, well, I don't have that trust line and it's not from Bitstamp. It's not from GateHub. I'm not going to accept it. And so that's kind of how that ends up working. However, when it comes to other assets, like say CSC, Mr. Mask Guy here can set up in the middle. And if Bob has his rippling flag set to true, I should have left Charlie on the board. I'll just put a check mark. All right. So now we'll use this as an example again. So with my previous example, rippling was set to false. Okay. Now we'll say Charlie again has the IOU from Mr. Mask Guy. Bob has his rippling set to set to true on his trust line, right? So what ends up happening is Bob says, okay, you know what? I don't care if it comes from Bitstamp, GateHub, or Mr. Mask Guy. USD is USD, and I'll take it. So essentially what ends up happening is Bob decides that he wants to trade Charlie for his XRP, right? So Bob turns around and sends, here, signify this with our orange. All right. So Bob wants to send Charlie XRP for Charlie's USD. Bob doesn't care that the USD isn't coming from a legitimate issuer. So Bob sends Charlie the the XRP. So Bob's XRP goes to, XRP is a native asset, so it just goes from Bob to Charlie. USD, however, again, would be not from would be from the issuer. So Charlie's USD would go from Charlie back to Mr. Mask Guy. Mr. Mask Guy sends it over to Bob. Alrighty. So now Bob's sitting with USD, which essentially ends up setting up a secondary USD trust line by Mr. Mask Guy, which isn't properly accepted. And that there is where we get into an issue of exploitation. So hopefully I didn't overcomplicate that. But again, if you have any questions, pop them up in the chat there. Hopefully that made some sense there. Yeah, exactly. GateHub, and as Matsko said there in chat, GateHub and Bitstamp are awesome on and off ramps. I haven't used them yet because I'm Canadian. I deal in CAD, but if you're dealing in USD or euros, they're great on and off ramps. You can deal with them directly from your bank, and they deal with either SEPA or Swift transactions. So it just uses the regular banking. And again, it is a USD IOU. It's not USDT or USDC. It's an IOU for the USD. So whatever the USD value is what you'll get, not a in-between value, so to speak. Alrighty. Alrighty, so just going through here. Yeah. And so, yeah, exactly, Matt. I'd like to see a lot more liquidity on the DEX as well. And so to explain to some folks, how we build liquidity is using market trades. So like myself, like say I set up an exit plan, as you can see here, like I got a couple hundred XRP. Shout out to Vite and as to Crypto News UK, I do believe it is, or Crypto News Co. UK. They ended up tipping me for the Zum Crash Course video, which I got to give them a shout out. I thank you. I appreciate it. Tips, I say, are not necessary, but they are appreciated. Like I won't say no. That being said, like, so I got a couple hundred XRP here. So if I wanted to set an exit plan and I'm like, okay, well, I want to sell 100 at $10 and I want to sell the other 100 at $100, I can literally hop onto the DEX here. And as you can see, we have our pricing. So if I want to sell 100 XRP and I want to sell 100 XRP at $100, there we go. Oh, we're going to set that to a sell. My bad. There we go. Guess what? Sorry. I guess what did too soon. There we go. Look at that. Submitted a transaction. And I've now got a $10,000 exit plan. That quick. And I've provided liquidity to the DEX. XRP liquidity. Right? So as you can see here, I have a sell order for 100 XRP at $100 per XRP. That's sitting there. That's waiting. And that will sit there until it's hit. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave that there. I'm not even going to, like, normally I would take it down as an example, but it's not a price prediction. I'm not saying it will ever hit that, but someday down the road, if I end up seeing that, you know, I've got $100 USD sitting, hey, cool. Or sorry, 10,000. It'll be pretty cool. But yeah, that's basically it. You set limit trades on the DEX. That's how we build liquidity. The more we trade on the DEX, the more limit trades we set, the more liquidity that we build. So whether you have a bot running as a market maker bot, when you have your buy and sell spread set, you have however you want to run it, you can provide liquidity to the DEX just by, as I said, running a bot, doing whether you're a daily trader or a swing trader, however it works. Instead of throwing all your money on a centralized exchange and giving them all your money for fees and everything else, throw it on the DEX. You lock up 5 XRP for the trade until it's killed or filled. But essentially, the trade costs you 12 drops, 0.000012 XRP, like literally fractions of a penny to send a transaction, to do a trade. So there's something to keep in mind. The more liquidity we build on the DEX, the more trades we put up there, the more liquid the DEX becomes. And how long until we can push it and have the DEX more liquid than any other centralized exchange? We can literally draw people to use the DEX more than centralized exchanges And not just that, we could even push centralized exchanges to start using the DEX order books. And then what? Centralized exchanges with multiple different order books at different prices becomes a thing of the past. Make the DEX the most liquid source and see what happens. I have a feeling, like I've said it before in my previous streams, is that someday in the near future, maybe not as near as I'd hope, but someday in the future, we're going to see centralized exchanges either closing their doors or they're going to be acting as a middleman, no longer offering their own order books, but utilizing the DEX order books, whether that's through regulation or through the crypto communities coming together and saying, no, utilize the DEXs, because the DEX order books, like especially the XRPL DEX, that's baked directly into the XRP ledger. So, food for thought anyway. So anyways, yeah, shout out to Matt for that point there. GateHub and Bitstamp are great on and off ramps for USD and Euro. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Bosbay, I actually do have a video regarding GateHub, which is the setup and creation of a GateHub account. Okay, maybe not the setup. Sorry. It's how to import GateHub into your Zum account. So you can actually set up a GateHub account and import it directly into your Zum app, and you can do everything in Zum for your GateHub account. You can do your funding, you can do your trading, you can do, like, basically all of it is handled through Zum, except for the on and off ramping that you would need to do through the GateHub web app there. So it's pretty cool. Honestly, if you haven't seen it yet, here it's, I'll link you the video in the chat there. Copy shareable link and Bosbay. There we go. There you go, bud. So I just linked the video in the chat. Sorry, it seems I'm a little backlogged on the chat, but that's okay. All right. So I'm just gonna get back up here. All right. So, alrighty. So Chris, big CJ, I'm loving the stream, but Codeward, your video is hardly an inch tall on the landscape. I can't squint. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, guys. Here, let me just stop sharing. I should have thought of that. And yeah, the lighting is sort of off too. I should have thought about that. I'm so sorry. If you want, I can go back over it. But yeah, I should have thought of that. My apologies. So let me know if you want me to go back over it. I can, but yeah, basically you have GateHub, you have Bitstamp as issuers. They ripple between each other because they're issuers. Issuers, if they want to have different issuances of that asset, they would set the rippling flag to true. However, users should have their rippling flag set to false so that they are not rippling through bad actors like Mr. Maskman here. That way, Alice can send Bob USD, and it'll ripple through either of them, whether, doesn't matter who it's issued from. Whereas, GateHub and Bitstamp can turn around and issue a USD token, and because they have their account set up, likely it's probably not going to be a black hold account, so they can freeze Mr. Maskman from transacting their USD token. And that's how they would also mitigate bad actors from taking advantage of that. So, okay. I am so sorry, guys. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's see here. We'll go back through this. My apologies, everyone. So yeah, basically GateHub offers the USD. This lighting is killing me. Let's see if I can find something to kind of block it off here. Just one moment. Perhaps I can. Does that help? Yeah, awesome. There we go. That helps a lot more. Amazing what a little towel can do. All right, there we go. Okay, and perhaps not. Okay, my face is the issue. Okay, so I will hang out down here. So yeah, you have GateHub. There we go. We have GateHub, we have Bitstamp. Both of them offer USD. They ripple the USD between them. You have a bad actor here who is also offering USD, which is not actually USD. All right. So when you have Alice who sets up the gate or the trust line for USD, and they have their rippling flag set to false, that prevents Alice from utilizing Mr. Bad Actor here, right? Bob, however, has his rippling flag set to true. So that means when he's trading with Charlie, Charlie's got this bad USD token issued because for some reason he thought he would use a third party instead of a trusted source like GateHub or, hey buddy, what's up?
Hi, I love you.
Oh, I love you too, buddy. All right, but Dad's talking to the rest of the world right now. No. All right, you playing Little Big Planet?
I am watching Paw Patrol up there.
Oh, you're watching Paw Patrol up there?
Yeah,
All right. How about you head back up there then, okay?
I want the juice box.
You want a juice box?
Yeah.
Okay. Just one moment here, folks. Please bear with me. All right, come on. Let's head back upstairs and get you a juice box. Oh, Dad'll sweep it up in a minute. What kind of juice do you want? Oh, okay. All right, sorry about that there, folks. All righty. And yeah, Boss Bay, definitely. I will break down the tip bot there. We can actually do that in the stream here. All righty. All right. So, all right, awesome, Mad Doggy TV. Yeah, GateHub, like it's a trusted source there. So I'm gonna try to pop back down here again to unblur the board. There we go, because apparently my face causes glare. All right. So where was I now? Oh, fair enough, Tom. That would be great. Trying to work and get stuff done some days is a challenge because as you see, he just makes his way in and he's like, "Hey, Dad, I want this," and it's like, I'm in the middle of doing something, buddy. Anyways, so yeah, so GateHub is a great and Bitstamp are both trusted issuers of the USD IOU. Again, so when it comes down to it, basically the my face causes too much glare. Or maybe if I back up a bit. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we have GateHub over here. We have Bitstamp. Both of them are good actors. They both offer a solid USD IOU that is able to be withdrawn directly back to your bank account. It is able to be deposited to Bitstamp or GateHub from your bank account, whether through Swift or SEPA payment. Alrighty. And then, yeah, we have Mr. Bad Actor here. Alrighty. So costs me 5 XRP. Well, fair enough. Well, I guess like 5, well, would that be like $6? Yeah, about $6 at the current market price, I think. But still not too bad considering, I guess. Something to keep in mind. Like, obviously, there would be fees associated with the payments and stuff. But yeah. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah. So Alice has her Rippling's flag set to false. So she's not able to interact with Mr. Bad Guy USD here. Bob, however, has his Rippling flag set to true on his trust line. And this is where some of the CasinoCoin folk, when they first did the swap, ran into some issues there where they had their flag set to true. They needed to set it to false or disabled. Otherwise, we could end up having a bad actor come into the place offering CSC, and then Bob would be, or Charlie says, hey, I'll give you some CSC. I got it from Mr. Maskman here. Bob's like, I don't care who you got it from. My Rippling flag set to true. Charlie's like, all right, here you go. But it come from a different issuer, which then creates a secondary trust line, and then thus basically prevents Bob from getting the real CSC, and Charlie makes off with his XRP or whatever he traded for. So if you want to, as I said, if you want to take a look into more information on Rippling and or trust line issuances and so forth, I posted the links in chat here earlier. What I will do here is, all right, so there's the Rippling. And there's the trust lines and issuing. All right. So definitely, if you want a bit more information on that, look up or take a look at those and read up on them. It's very useful information, especially if you're looking into getting into development on the XRPL. It's something to consider, as we do need to be mindful and keep a watch out for potential exploits like that. So, yeah. Oh, Crypto Beast. I guess his little ones are watching Paw Patrol too. Nice. Yeah, I actually just recently took him to the theater for the first time to see the Paw Patrol movie. He was blown away. Had to keep telling him he's not supposed to be talking during a movie, but he's 4. What can you do, right? So anyways, I feel like I'm starting to kind of be a broken record, and I don't want to do that. So if you do have any more questions regarding the trust line issuances or Rippling, feel free to drop a question in the comments. I'll answer it directly and try to keep on point in that regard. As per any other questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to raise is that we are seeing a lot more token issuances and airdrops coming about. So as I mentioned before, Gadget has started putting together an amazing little list that basically is available at gadget78.uk. And it goes through everything from the currency that's offered, whether it's offered directly in Zum, or whether it's offered via tipping via the tip bot, if the account's been black holed, links to their website or Twitter, even as far as what country it's available from, straight over to whether or not there's an airdrop associated for it. Sorry. So actually, one thing to note is with EQ, I might be a little late on this. Let's see here. Yeah, I am. Minus Wells recently just shared a tweet there regarding the Equilibrium trust line here. There was about 45 minutes, but I think that's past now, where you could add the trust line and potentially get an airdrop for that, as details were announced earlier today for that. So yeah. So this is an amazing resource. Again, shout out to Gadget for putting this together. There's a lot of information. It's easy to get overwhelmed at first, but yeah, it's basically just go through line by line for each token. Like if you wanted to take a look at, say, CasinoCoin, for example, It was originally issued on March 1st. There's the trust line. If you click that, that'll take you to Zum. Yep. So that'll take you to Zum Community where you can go ahead and set up the trust line. So if I just realized here I'm not sharing my screen. So I'm just gonna step back here. Sorry, folks. I need to get with it here. There we go. So again, gadget.70 or gadget78.uk. This is the list that I was talking about. Again, it's at quick glance, it's easy to get overwhelmed, just kind of over. So again, if we take a look at CasinoCoin, it was issued on March 1st. You can click here to get the trust line, which here we go. We just go ahead and click the link there because it's a redirect. So it's just giving us a bit of a warning. So there's the issuer address for CasinoCoin, the token currency code, and the maximum supply. So as you can see here, the maximum supply is actually currently just less than 65 billion. So if you wanted to go ahead and hit confirm, you can go and basically add that to your Zum account. And that's a quick way to go through and add tokens. So what you could also do here is just go zum.community. All right. And if you click on XRPL tokens, there's a list of all the tokens on the mainnet. So this is loading. It's going to bring it up. As you can see, there's actually 5,700 tokens issued on the XRPL. So some of them, you know, worth, I guess, looking into there. So 2, 4, 6. Oh, wow. Looks like Elysian has overtaken CasinoCoin for number 7. Interesting. Interesting. But anyways, so if you're looking for a specific token, like say you're looking for Greyhound here, you can find the issuer right here. All right. Now it does look like there's 2 tokens issued, so you'd have to look into it. But as it's offered on the on Gadget's list here, so Greyhound, it says here that there's 10K issued trust lines. We see here 10K issued trust lines. So this would be the one we want. And you could just go ahead and hit set trust line there. And that would give you the option there. So amazing little spreadsheet that Gadget has put together there. Again, shout out to him for doing so. I'm starting to get a little annoyed with this drop down thingy from the top because every time I know you guys don't see it, but basically my things up top up here, some of them are overshadowed by my screen share. Anyways, so yeah. So you can set it up, set a trust line up through hitting the link here in the spreadsheet, or you can go directly to zum.community, hit tokens and look for the token you're looking for. And so that's an option there. So alrighty. Same thing with Solo and ELS, but yeah, so Mad Dog's here to participate in this CSC project, but he does also look at like Solo and ELS. So when will they have Blackjack? That's a good question. I look forward to Blackjack and other games like slots and so forth coming out with the release of the XRP lobby. I know we've been hearing a lot about it and very little news, but the team has dealt with some delays. I hope we should hopefully be hearing some news soon. Yeah, unfortunately, until an announcement is made, we're kind of just waiting by patiently. Some more patient than others, understandable, but know that the team, they are working hard and they are working behind the scenes more than what we see. They're not always in Discord, constantly answering questions and so forth. For me, that's a good thing. All right. But yeah, it's hard to say. Like, we haven't had an actual release date, and that's one thing I wanted to address regarding the CasinoCoin giveaway there, the community giveaway that I was putting together, is that I know I announced that a little while ago that I was putting that together, and I want to be transparent here, as I have always tried to be in regards to that. So I will pull up the account here and just show everybody, like, the funds are still sitting in the account safely. They haven't gone anywhere. It's literally, literally just sitting there waiting for the news to drop there. So I'm just putting in my password here. Sorry, getting a little tied over myself. So if we go back to the account overview, okay, why didn't that sign? Ah, there we go. All righty. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. So this here, as I mentioned, is the CasinoCoin community giveaway account. Alrighty. So the balance is still sitting there, hasn't changed. People are still, if you want to go ahead and donate to it, you can. It just adds more for the giveaway. Now, as I was mentioning before, is that basically this is all going towards a merch giveaway. I did have plans originally to have this launch in August. However, with the delays that the team faced there, and as well the recent decline in price, the amount of prizes that I was originally looking to offer wouldn't be the same due to the decline in price. So I did talk with everybody else involved with the giveaway there, and we are looking to basically try to time it with the launch of the CSC lobby. So when the CSC lobby goes live, very shortly in around the same time, this merch giveaway will be going live. So hopefully that coincides with being able to keep true to being able to offer the original 200 prizes that we'd kind of broken down. Basically, with the amount that was here originally when I was talking about it, was equivalent to about $5,000 US, which would have got us about, give or take, about 200 prizes to work with. All right. Now with the current decline price, we wouldn't be able to get near that many. So we're just kind of looking to time everything to go with the CSC lobby and or potentially any other news that might come down the pipeline. So definitely keep looking forward to that. It is going to be happening. In the effort of transparency, the account's right here. You can keep an eye on it. The funds aren't going anywhere except towards the merch giveaway there. So just wanted to put that out for everybody to ease any minds if there is anybody questioning, or if you do have questions, feel free to give me a shout and let me know. I'm more than happy to answer. So so let's see, how sufficient are the trades in the DEX? Oh, wait, sorry, let's see. Will it be possible to make a lobby with CSC to play with friends or randoms? Yes, actually, that's what the CSC lobby is there, Boz. They're looking to bring out the CSC lobby, which taps into multiple casinos. And then, yeah, if there's like poker tables or whatever available and a player sits at a table and it's free and they have a table ID, there hopefully would be a way that another player would be able to join using the table ID or something. That I think would be pretty cool. For equilibrium, Chris is saying here that basically everybody gets about 2940 tokens. That's pretty cool. That's interesting. I look forward to seeing that. Now let's see here. So yeah, it seems here that Yeah, as per Mad Doggy's question, sorry, did I get back to that? As per how sufficient are the trades on the XRPL DEX? If I set a limit order, will it pick it up? Yes, yes, it will. So here we can do an example of that. Basically, I guess that'd be considered wash trading, but I don't know. It's just for an example. I'm not actually looking to make a profit here. So, well, this is the wrong account. So, yeah. All right. So, if we go back to trade. Alrighty. So, let's see here. Yeah. So via the trade there, let's see. So I have a daughter message in there. Alrighty. So yes, Mad Doggy, via the DEX here, it's very sufficient and efficient in the means of, yeah, if you set a trade, it'll go through immediately. So I will actually show that here, and I will say buy limit trade CSC, and I will say there we go. So making sure I'm on the right account. Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna place a buy order here. Offer to create. Open up my Zoom. All right. There we go. Slide to accept. Password. Now. All right, here we go. So as you can, actually, you can't see. So what I'll do is go ahead and hit sign. There's the request. We have 4,700, 372. And there's my order submitted. Okay. That did not show, but there it is filled right there. So I actually got it a little cheaper than I ordered, I think, which is what I think what the issue was there. So my order did get filled at 100 CSE that I just bought. And yeah, so yeah, the DEX is quite efficient in what it does there. So yeah, definitely something to look at there. Like there's also other UIs available as well. So if you were to say go to sologenic.org, all right, you can access the DEX. And I'm just going to pop in here and I'm going to say CasinoCoin, CSC, counter, XRP, confirm. Alrighty. And in here, yep. Okay. So this is actually the same order book as using the using the XRP toolkit. So if we go through here, exchange history, there we go. So there's my trade showing up from XRP toolkit in the Sologenic DEX. So yeah, it's actually one thing that's really cool about the XRPL DEX. Anybody using the order book, whether it's GateHub, XRP toolkit, Sologenic, or Bitstamp, or anyone else that uses the XRPL DEX, it all uses the same order book. And that's what kind of brings me back to that point of centralized exchanges there. So yeah, pretty cool in my opinion anyway. So if we go back to XRP toolkit here, hit trade and trade history. Excuse me. Allergies are great. All right, there we go. So yeah, there's my trade there that was showing in Sologenic. So something pretty cool. Yeah, no worries, Matt. Thank you everybody for joining. Want to say that now before everybody finishes dipping out on me. I know I got a little sidetracked there, and as well, I apologize for the screen issue there. I should have canceled the screen share when I went up to the board. I will definitely keep that note for future. It's a learning experience. I'm new to having the board, and usually I just go to sharing the screen here. So anyways, with that being said, let's just take a look here. So I guess Mad Ducky watched a demo on YouTube, and to be honest, I think people are waiting for that before they go big time. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree completely. Like I seen somebody there, I think it was Josie CSC, or I believe was the user. They shared a GIF or NFT of King of Clubs, and it was slick looking. And I put up a tweet there saying that, like, you know, if that ended up, let's see here if I can find that. There we go. NFT CSC. Here it is. So yeah, right here. Shout out to NFT CSC here. So this is the King of Clubs that I was talking about. This is like really cool. And so I shared a tweet saying that basically if like they had the ace of spades and it was on the XRPL, I'd buy that in a heartbeat. But that's the thing is like, I want it to be on the XRPL before I go ahead and start buying NFTs. The fees and stuff associated with the Ethereum chain and buying NFTs on that. Oh, buddy, it's ridiculous. I'm not partaking in that. Sorry, but not sorry. So yeah, I agree. Once NFTs come over to the XRP ledger, which I know there's, as far as I'm aware, there's a couple devs that are working on it. I know Calx9 was working on it. So I believe XRP Dev was as well. So there's a few people I know that are working towards bringing NFTs over to the XRPL, and especially once Flare goes live, I know Sparkles is going to be NFTs on Flare. So that's something to keep an eye for as well. Yeah, so like I look forward to, like, I would love to buy a royal flush of these, like a royal spade flush of these cards. That would be cool in my opinion. And if I could hold those in some, even better. So oh nice, Mad Doggy. Yeah, that would be awesome if they made triple diamond slots. Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know if I could justify 25 bucks a spin, man. I would probably burn through my stack way too quick. I've said it before, like I'm a bit of a degenerate gambler. So I don't go to the casino and stuff very often because, and like when I do, I bring a limited amount of money with me because it's go big or go home. Like if I bring 100, 200 bucks with me, I walk out with nothing or I walk out with a jackpot. And I'll tell you, I don't walk out with jackpots. So I usually end up walking out with nothing. But then again, like when I go with me and my girlfriend, it's to have a fun time, right? I'm not going with the expectation that I'm going to win. I'm not going with the like mindset of, oh, I need to at least break even or whatnot. I go for a night out with my girlfriend as just something to do to have fun. So if like, you know, I spend that $100, it's like equivalent to me and her going to the movies, buying concession, and, you know, grabbing dinner beforehand or something, you know. So it basically balances out to be about the same. So that's my thing. So if they end up coming out with like high roller slots, I'm definitely going to be utilizing the responsible gaming features because like I remember at one point I was playing an online slot and basically I was up thousands of dollars and then I just spun it all away because I could. And so yeah, that was, you know, in hindsight, probably not the smartest idea, but still. But yeah, being able to link webcams and play poker, that would be pretty cool. I know some of the guys were talking in Discord about setting up via one website and doing just that, and then basically wagering CSE using the in-game chips. However, I did have to put a stop to the communication in the Discord because it does fall under the classification, at least for the US folks and so forth, of unregulated gambling. So I didn't want there to be any liability on the team or anything. So I had to stifle those talks, at least like in the Discord there, because yeah, I wouldn't want anything coming back on the team because some of us were talking about doing something like that. So yeah, I had to put a stop to that. Now, that being said, if something takes place outside of Discord, what people do is their own business. But if it's being made apparent in the CSC Discord that something like that's going on, I'm going to have to put a stop to it. I'll let people know that here and now that, yeah, due to legal and liability issues, that can't be happening in Discord. Yeah, no, I agree, Mad Doggy. Like using CSE for utility means via the CSE lobby and by other means, what ends up coming down the road, definitely. I look forward to that as well because, like, CSE, even the other tokens that are being issued on the XRPL, whether it's Equilibrium, ELS, or so forth, like actual utility tokens that have a proven use case, even those that don't, like, whether they're being used for tips or just sending back and forth to users, every transaction that happens on the XRPL uses XRP as gas, and that XRP, like that network fee, is burnt, right? So that's increased network and utility on the XRPL as well. Each of those transactions is being burnt, or that network fee is being burnt, which further reduces the XRPL supply. In the end, it's plus plus. While I do not agree with scam tokens or anything like that, the issuances and the sending back and forth does use XRP. So, you know, as much as I don't agree with scam tokens and so forth, the utility on the ledger it's there. Hey, Hoodlum, welcome back to the stream there. Shout out for being in the pre-stream there earlier. So now, question from Mad Doggy as well. Question, is the CSE beta going to be on the DEX or is it going to be on an app? So it's going to be directly in Zum or Sum. It's going to be an X app. So much like you hop into Zum and you use the TipBot X app or the GateHub Trade X app or the account merge or the tangent backup or any of the other X apps that are available in Zum, the CSE lobby is going to be just the same way. So it's going to be an X app directly in Zum. So you'll end up doing your KYC in Zum, and then you'll be able to hop up into the CSE lobby, send your funds to Casino A, play, say you win some, you withdraw back to your CSE wallet, send it off to Casino B, and the next thing you know, within minutes, you're playing in Casino B as streamlined as possible. And the thing is, the way that the KYC is done in the platform there is you KYC once and you have access to multiple different operators. So you don't have to turn around and KYC for each and every single one of them. You KYC once, you have access to a whole rainbow of operators, whether it's poker, slots, or any other platform there. So yeah, it's really cool, and I'm looking forward to the launch of it because, like, it's, as you say, utility is key. And I think despite like people being down that August we didn't get the news that we were looking for, once the CSE lobby goes live, I think it's going to blow a few people's hats off because utility is going to explode. Like, we're in COVID, we're in the middle of a lockdown, right? So we're not, I know a lot of people aren't able to just go walk into the casino. Like, thankfully, like where I am, our casino just opened up not too long ago and we can go and play. But now, like, they're with further restrictions, if we get a wave 4 or like vaccine passports and so forth, not going to get into that, but that'll end up causing its own issues there, so which will end up pushing back towards the online marketplace. So definitely look forward to that there. Yeah. So yeah, basically the CSC lobby will be an XApp within some, and yeah, every casino coin transaction uses XRP as gas. So that's pretty cool. Like every on-chain transaction. So if I'm sending, say, Matsko, one of our other mods there, CSC, that uses XRP as gas. If I want to send somebody a tip via the tip bot, that uses XRP as gas. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And yeah. Oh, fair enough. Yeah. I admittedly, I haven't been out of Canada. I think when I was a kid there back, oh, I was like 12 or 13 or so. I think I went across the border to Michigan for some Christmas shopping with foster parents there back in the day. But besides that, yeah, no, I've never left Canada. I look forward to traveling one day, especially if crypto ends up taking off and I'm able to turn a profit. Like, I don't look at it as an investment. It's not investment. I'm not guaranteed returns. I'm a speculator, and that's about it. But if by chance my speculation pays off, and it'd be cool. I would love to see the world. There's many places I'd love to see before my time comes. But yeah. So now hoodlum there, CasinoCoin going after video games too for payment. I don't know about video games. That might be something that's considered down the road, but what I found so far in the crypto space is that, especially when it comes to the XRPL, companies and projects are focused on one thing and doing one thing really well. And so CasinoCoin is aiming after casinos, whether like the online market or, down the road, brick and mortar. But Daniel's even raised the point when it comes to brick and mortar, it doesn't make sense right now to go after the MGM because the liquidity is not there. Like it's not sustainable enough, at least at the moment. So yeah, whether or not gaming, like video games become a thing in the future, might be something. Like, who knows, whether we have a developer like myself or Big CJ or like anybody else decides that, like, they want to make a PS4 game or Xbox or whatever, not an endorsement or anything, but if they want to make a console game and roll it out that it's a casino game that taps into the online marketplace and then uses CSC to gamble on your console, it's an option. Like, nobody's stopping them. The XRPL is open source. Go and do it. I just gave people a free idea. Go develop it, make it happen. You know how much you would sell? Like, offer the game up for free. Like, here, free gaming platform for your console, and it uses CasinoCoin. Like, you literally have a casino on a disk tapped into the online, or even a digital download that uses CSC, and you just basically establish your own online casino that people can play on their consoles. $1 billion, if not more, idea right there. Go for it. Make it happen. Develop it. The XRPL is open source. Do it. Free ideas. So yeah, like, yeah, I would prefer, like, I prefer online gambling as well. Going in the casino, I'm weary, especially like if I do end up winning. Like, I remember one year on my birthday, I ended up going in there, and like I walked in with, I think it was maybe like $50. I ended up walking out with like, I think it was like $700-800. I was like, yes. I was sketched walking through the parking lot thinking someone was going to jump me or something, or on my way to the ticket machine. Like, it is scary. And like, yeah, I think in the future, once we're able to cross that threshold and have CasinoCoin offered within casinos, and you just basically play on your phone through your app, and you don't need to worry about going to that cage or the ticket counter or any of that jazz, that'll be revolutionary. That'll be awesome. Being able to walk in and not have to worry about payout tickets, dropping one, or having somebody pickpocket you or whatever the case. I think that'll be phenomenal. That'd be awesome and a huge value add. So, yeah. But yeah, no, tip bot is awesome. And I love the tip bot. I'm sure people see me online. Like, I try to throw tips everywhere I can. I'm like, yep, 1,000 here, 100 there. Like, people have some CSE. I try to tip as many people as I can, but I also, I'm a father of 4. I'm not loaded. So, I give what I can, but, I also do have to be somewhat conservative. So, because I do want to be able to play when the CSE lobby rolls out too. So, yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly it. There, you can use the one accent, the Pathfinder, so that you can turn around and take other tokens that are issued on the XRPL and convert them as XRP. So, like if I had, say, SEC coin or Hadelite or any of the others that we've seen in the spreadsheet there, you can straight up just turn around and take the Pathfinder app and just say, okay, well, I don't need this anymore, convert it into CSC and send it to myself, and then remove the trust line to free up that 5 XRP. Exactly. It's many options there. Well, I like to think Canada rocks. I have no complaints without getting into political issues. So as Mad Doggy says, Trudeau's a clown. Like, I'm not getting into political stuff. It's I'm not. I try to keep my channel free of politics because it's a very slippery slope. I have my opinions, but my opinions are just that. They're mine. They don't need to be vocalized and shoved down everybody else's throat there. So hopefully I understand. But yeah. So Mad Dog here says his grandmother was from Canada and he used to play in Windsor all the time when he was young and wanted to go and party. 120K back when he was 19. Oh man, I wish. I've never won anything close to that. As I said, I think my biggest win was 1 year on my birthday when I ended up winning like $700-800. And that was like, yo, I need to get out of here. I'm taking my winnings and I'm running. As that was the most I'd ever won. Like, I usually walk into a casino and within half hour or so, I burnt through over $100 and it's gone. And I'm like, man, I could have used that. So anyways, Hoodlum, thanks for dropping by, bud. I appreciate everybody coming out to the stream here. As of the moment, we've kind of already talked about the stuff that I wanted to talk about in regards to the how the XRPL works in and trust lines and issuances of tokens. So if you want to go back and hear me talk about that, because incidentally, admittedly, I sort of forgot to expand my screen so people could see the board behind me. But the premise is there, it's explained. If you want to go into more detail, I've linked earlier in the video, just or chat there, links to the XRPL.org documents regarding trust lines and issuances, as well as the rippling feature. So if you want to go check that out, by all means. Yeah, otherwise, if you have more questions, drop them up in the chat there. I'll address them as I come in. But yeah, I agree, Hoodlum. Working for a living sucks. I can't wait for the day that I can turn around and just start working for myself, doing what I want to do, because I've got a few project ideas lined up that I'd love to get to developing. I've got other little projects on the side, like in my free time, I'm learning as well, like a little bit into the side of electrical engineering. I've got a lot to learn still, but I've got a few little projects that have kind of started to take form. So I'd love to take take a stab at rolling out a product that, like, people can buy. One of them has to do with crypto and just being like a little portfolio ticker that just kind of sits on your desk or whatnot. So a shout out to Sea Captain for that. Yeah, Cat Pain is what he's this guy. He actually gave me the idea for it originally. It was back a few months back. He actually set up a little Arduino system, and it's basically a little ticket counter. It was pretty cool. If you have a chance, go check it out. Probably have to scroll back quite a ways to find it, but he's an awesome community member as well. So if you don't, go ahead and give him a follow. He deserves it. He's got some pretty cool stuff too. Well, thanks for coming out, Richard. Again, I always appreciate everyone coming watching the stream. Yeah. Chris, I'm getting more pumped about CSE now. I have a friend who does online tournaments. I'm gonna throw him some. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Like, honestly, like if you have friends or family that are into like playing, whether it be online friendly games or whatever, throw them some CSE and see about, like, playing a game. It's something to consider. But that being said, yeah, my dog here, live right across the pond. Don't worry, I don't care what politics is. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. As I said, like when it comes to politics, religion, or things like that, it's a slippery slope, and it's hard because, like, the world is so divided, and it's so easy to come at each other over difference of opinion, whether it's politics, religion, or whatever else, that we are so quickly divided that we forget how much we actually have in common. Like, look at all of us here. Like, I remember back a while ago, I ended up sharing the fact that, like, I ended up growing up in foster care there. I ended up having some people message me and be like, look, I never would have thought. And realize that, like, some of us have a lot more in common than we even realized. And that's one thing that we lose sight of, is that we probably have so much more in common as people than we do have differences, but we get so bent up on our differences that we lose sight of those commonalities and that brothership or brotherhood that or brotherhood, sisterhood, not discriminating here, that we lose sight of that, and we become so bent on our differences and become so divided that we end up, fighting amongst ourselves for no reason. Should be coming together and fostering growth between community and each other. Like, I look forward to a future where we can all come together and basically just help each other grow and stop worrying so much about our differences and focus more on what we have in common and what we can do to better not just ourselves, but each other as well. I want to see a brighter future for everyone, not one bent on division and like divide and conquer, you know what I mean? So anyways, enough of that. Again, if you have any more questions, pop them up in the chat there. Otherwise, I'm probably going to look at cutting off the stream here in probably about 5 minutes or so, give or take. Yeah, again, I want to give a apology to everyone for my not being as organized with the video stream and the hiccup there in the beginning. For some reason, I had an issue with video getting started. And then I as well had, issue with the sharing the screen. I should have stopped sharing the screen so I could have made the video bigger. But again, it's learning. It's a learning point, right? So yeah, anyways. Just one moment here. Hey, buddy. Dad's a little busy right now, okay? You go watch TV, okay? Well, you're gonna have to find it.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah, I know, buddy, but you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to go find it. You put it down somewhere. You gotta go find it. That's how it works. You know how to find it. You gotta use your eyeballs and look, sir. Go look. Move things. You can do it. I believe in you. Alrighty. So, Mad Doggy here saying, I did the owner of Creektown Casino Slate Roof in Michigan, Dan Gilbert, and my dad grew up with Mike Illigy. He owns MGM Grand. I'd love to get them involved with this project. That would be awesome, Mad Doggy. Like, you know, it's got to start somewhere, and that's the thing is like, you know, we're starting basically from the ground up here, or well, the team's starting from the ground up. Like, I'm more of a community member myself. Like, I'm not staff. I do help moderate the Discord and so forth, but yeah, I'm not directly staff. I'm just basically an overly active community member here. So, but yeah, no, that's awesome. Like, if you have a means to, sir,
Why?
watch TV, please. That'll be up in a minute, okay? You can start looking for your remote in the meantime. Dad'll see if he can help you about it if you haven't found it by the time I come up. Kids are great. I love that little dude. But yeah, anyways, yeah, no, that's awesome. We got to start somewhere, and that's exactly it. So as Daniel's mentioned before, we start with the online casinos. We start to build the project up, and from there, it just basically flourishes and becomes a snowball effect or a flywheel effect, or however you want to phrase it. You got to start off small and build and work your way up. He mentioned on the stream with Stephen Chiptia on the chain, you can't really just jump head first with the MGM Grand there, because like the project's still small. The markets are, for lack of better wording, like the markets are liquid right now. If we turn around and have a player decide to try to cash out, you know, $100,000 or worth of CSC or using CSC, it's going to cause a huge swing on the market there, right? So now via the X app, like there's things put in place via like OTC counters or whatever the case to kind of manage that all there. Hey, Forex Yoga, welcome. But like for the most part, we're not like, I don't think via the X app we're going to see many players coming in and just, you know, dropping $50,000 to $100,000 and in right away to play. I think it's like even myself, like I turn around, like I already have some CSC, so I turn around, just transfer that to the casino or however that works and just play with it that way. Whereas new players coming in, they might test the waters and be like, oh, I'll throw $100 or end up winning a couple hundred or whatever the case. But to turn around and try to take on a giant like MGM, well, that I think would pose its challenges there. So if you haven't already, I would suggest taking a look at that video on the chain there. Let me just see if I can pull up actually, no, I know where I can pull that up. That should actually be in my notifications here from earlier. Was via Zerpinator there. Let's see here. I'm just gonna try to pull this up quick here. Okay. All right, perfect. Here we go. So I'm going to drop the link to the video there. And actually, I have it clipped at a certain time point where Daniel's actually talking about the online casinos there and some of the partners. So it's a tasty little tidbit to take a look. It's actually right at the point where they start, or in about where they're talking about the CSE lobby. But the entire stream there has a lot of great and useful information if you want to take a look. So yeah, and that's also an option there too, Mad Doggy, is being able to stake your winnings on Flare once it ends up going live. And that's, I think, another thing that a lot of people are forgetting with the lack of announcements and so forth is we had a major announcement with CSE being offered as a Y asset on Flare networks when it ends up going live. Like, phenomenal in my opinion, and I can't wait. Like, that's, I don't know, maybe I'm biased, but in my opinion, that's a huge announcement that CSE is going to be offered and available on the Flare networks or Flare Finance to start off. And then, yeah, like, I don't know, there's a lot happening in the space, and, quickly there's people do end up losing track of the announcements that have happened, and they're so focused on the lack of announcement over the course of a month that they start to peter off. And it's like, man, like, you lose face so quickly. I don't know. I'm here for the long haul. But that being said, I'm probably gonna cut the stream here for the day. I want to again thank everybody for coming out today. It's always a pleasure trying to relay information, educate people. As I say from in all my streams, like, my whole point here is not to get you to buy or sell CSC. It's all about education around the XRPL, whether it's XRP, CSC. Like, my focus is around CSC because I am an active member in the community and so forth. But like, it's all around the XRPL as a whole. So that's why I wanted to have the discussion today around how the trust lines work and why a black hole account like the CSC account here is showing transactions happening, even though they're not able to sign transactions. And that's a result that basically our transactions, holders of that trust line, when we make transactions, whether it's trades or so forth, that shows up on the issuer's account because they are the issuer of that token, and it ripples through their account. So if I make a trade from me to Mad Doggy, well, that issues through the CSE account. It's not that they're signing that, it gets rippled through their account. Yeah. All right. But anyways, thank you again, everybody. Shout out to everybody that joined, and a shout out to anybody who watches this later on. I appreciate y'all. Give it a thumbs up if you like the content. Give it a subscribe. I do have more videos on the way. My next video is basically how to use Bitcoin and other issued tokens on the XRPL using like GitHub. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, you all have a great Saturday. Go spend some time with your families if you can. And yeah, appreciate you all coming out. Thank you very much.